method I'm going to show you before you have to pick one and be able to do it yourself is I still owe you. So, again, let's start by simply renaming our fractions so our denominators are the same, because we cannot add or subtract fractions until the denominators are the same. So instead of 1 4/5, we're going to have 1 8/10. So I have renamed 1 4/5, 1 8/10. And now if you look at the problem, it says 1/10 minus 8/10 and 3 minus 1. Well, boys and girls, this is like having 3 wholes and 1 fraction piece. And you owe someone 1 whole and 8 fraction pieces. So you kind of, out of necessity of the person that you owe, say, okay, I will give you 3 minus 1 is 2. And 1 minus 8/10, 1/10 minus 8/10 means I still owe you 7/10. So it's kind of like, take what I have, take the whole that I owe you, and take this 1/10. And now I have a problem that is a subtraction from a whole. So whatever strategy you used for that is what you can use here. And 2 minus 7/10 is 1 3/10. Let's try it again. Rename your fractions. This is now 2/8 instead of 16 and 1/4. And I have to do 16 minus 4, and I have to do 2/8 minus 7/8. Well, I can do 16 minus 4 because that's 12. But if I only have 2 pieces called 8s, and I owe someone 7 pieces called 8s, I would say, I still owe you 5/8. And 12 minus 5/8 is 11 3/8. So this negative sign that we learned at the beginning of the year always represents what you still owe. And then this becomes a problem that is like one that you used to do. Okay, let's try this third one. 26 and 1/22 minus 14 and 4/11. First, I have to rename the denominators. So this was no longer 4/11, but is now 8/22. 26 minus 14 is 12. And 1/22, but I owe you 8 means I still owe you 7/22. And 12 minus 7/22 is 11 and 15/22. So you have 3 ways that you have learned to solve these problems. We counted up, we renamed the first number to be a form of 1, or we have mentally subtracted with an I still owe you mentality. Now, you have these 3 problems, and I'd like for you to show me what you know. All right, let's get going. 13 and 1/2 minus 10 and 1/4. Hopefully you renamed your denominators before you started, so 1/2 should become 2/4. And hopefully you didn't have to use any of the strategies I just taught you because you realized that you had 2/4 and you could indeed pay your debt of 1/4. There was no need to regroup. So this should have been 3 and 1/4. So now we're at 4 and 1/4 minus 1 and 3/8. We rename our denominator and this becomes 4 and 2/8. Well, 4 minus 1 is 3. And 2/8 minus 3/8 means I still owe you 1/8. And 3 minus 1/8 is 2 and 7/8. If you didn't use that method, if you used the counting up method, then you would have started with 1 and 3/8, because that's the smallest number on your number line, and you would have counted up to 4 and 2/8. Well, if you put 5/8 on here, it got you to 2. And then you needed 2 wholes to get you to 4, and then you needed 2 more 8s to get you where you were. And so 2 plus 5/8 plus 7/8 is 2 and 7/8. 2 and 7/8 is your answer either way. Finally, if you chose the rename, then this would be 4 plus 8/8. So this would have been 3 plus this 1 plus this 2/8. And now I would have combined this to make 3 and 10/8. 3 and 10/8 minus 1 and 3/8 is 2 and 7/8. All right, last one, 5 and 1/12 minus 3 and 9/24. Change your denominator to 24. So if we're going to use the IOU, 5 minus 3 is 2. And 2 minus 9 means I still indeed owe you 7/24. 2 minus 7/24 is 1 and 17/24. So if we did it number line, we would start with 3 and 9/24, counting up to 5 and 2/24. 24, this means I need 15 more 24ths, and that would get me to 4. Then I would need 1 whole, and that would get me to 5. And then I would need 2 more 24ths, and that would get me to 1 and 17/24. And then finally for the renaming, I could cross this off and make it 4 plus 1 plus 2/24. And this 1 would be 24/24 plus this 2. So 26 minus 9 would be 17/24, and 4 minus 3 would be this 1 and 17/24.